Hello there, good people. Welcome to It's a Shaw Thing. I'm your host, Rob Shaw, here to talk a little fantasy football. It's Tuesday, so time for the news and notes to keep you caught up with all of the things going on in the NFL today. We'll start off in San Francisco, where we've got a new quarterback. His name is Alex Smith. You might remember him. He was formerly the #1 pick overall out of Utah back when Urban Meyer was coaching there. Unfortunately, his career hasn't gone to plan, suffered many injuries. Shaun Hill came into the season as a starting quarterback, did all right until the last couple of games. Smith came in at halftime when they were losing to the Houston Texans this past weekend and put up an incredible 206 passing yards with 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Smith has been named the starting quarterback for the Niners this weekend. Before you get too excited, remember they're playing against the Indianapolis Colts, so it's going to be a very difficult matchup for him. But if you look ahead and he could keep the position, Week 9 is against the Tennessee Titans. That means big fantasy points for him, particularly when you consider that Michael Crabtree looks to be pretty good as a rookie wideout. Also, Josh Morgan is there. Vernon Davis at tight end has been spectacular. We move on to Philadelphia, and nothing new here, but Brian Westbrook injured yet again. This time it was a concussion that forced him out of the game against the Washington Redskins on Monday Night Football. LaShawn McCoy welcomed back into the #1 role from the backfield for the Eagles. Now, what's going to happen to Westbrook right now? I'd say he's going to be at least questionable this weekend, which really isn't anything new for the guy. He's fantastic when he plays, such as last week against the Raiders. He racked up over 140 total yards of offense. But remember, throughout his entire NFL career, he has never made it through an entire season healthy. Next up, we move to Larry Johnson of the Kansas City Chiefs. You have to wonder how much longer we'll be putting him on that team. Well, the trade deadline did pass, but he is going to face some scrutiny after an apparent tirade on his Twitter account. He used some poor language, and because of that, there's a good chance he might end up being suspended. When you look at the rule book, there's something about the integrity and reputation of the league, and I don't think he upheld that if you read what he wrote. So right now, him going after the coach is the least of his worries. The NFL might penalize him, and this isn't his first time that he's almost been suspended. He got in some trouble earlier this season, also last year actually. So Johnson, be careful what you say because you're going to get yourself in trouble. Not that there's much fantasy impact here. Remember, he's not that good anymore, averaging less than 3 yards per carry. He actually had a good performance a couple of weeks ago at 83 rushing yards against Washington, but he followed that up with under 50 yards against the San Diego Chargers in Week 7. We move on to Leon Washington, a player who's actually performed quite well for the New York Jets, but his season is over because of a broken fibula. So Washington's goodbye for the remainder of the season. If you had him, go after Shaun Green. He's the backup that racked up 144 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns against the Raiders, yes, but considering the Jets' new offense is about keeping the ball on the ground, playing conservative, not letting a rookie quarterback hurt them. So that being said, Shaun Green does pick up immediate fantasy value. And we finish off with another Jet, Braylon Edwards. Looks like there's going to be some assault charges stemming from that brouhaha he had with a friend of LeBron James back in his days with Cleveland. What to expect out of this? Well, it's a misdemeanor charge. Personally, I don't think there's going to be much to it. But now that he plays in New York, it will be a juicy story that won't go anywhere. The New York Post, the Daily News, will make sure we hear about it for a while. Well, my friends, that's all for now. I'm Rob Shaw, signing out.